because we are getting the exact result, whatever we are expecting. That's what in the industry people are migrating towards the Python. Now let's move ahead. Now I was saying that so I hope you are clear with why it is interpreted, right? Now let's move ahead with interactive. See, I'm pressurizing for these 3 points. I'm going into more detail because this is very important to start the Python. I don't want anyone who joined our class and if they're gonna try for they're gonna reach out for the interviews and someone asks you that, okay, what is the difference between interpreted and compilation language, right? So I hope you understood what is interpreted. Let's move towards interactive. Guys, please be on mute. Now, interactive means what? Python is an interactive language. So in the demos class as well, I have told you guys, interactive means whoever or whatever. Let me zoom it little. I think it will not zoom. That's fine. I hope that font is visible to you all. So interactive means whatever command that you are giving to the Python, it will give the result within a minute, or not within a minute, within a seconds, microseconds you can say. So it just you can say shell commands. We all know shell commands, right? It's like we are giving the input, we are getting the output. Let's say I wanted to test one syntax, the same syntax that I'll write over here. Print f. Here I'm writing wrong syntax. Printf is a syntax of C language. Printf 2 divided by 0, the same thing. Let's say I should get the 0 division error or syntax error. So I'm getting syntax error. That name printf is not defined. And in this way, I'm interacting towards the Python and I'm getting the result. Okay, this syntax is not correct. So that is meant by Python is interactive language. Now, third point is object-oriented programming language. Why object-oriented programming language? Because Python support classes, Python support objects, Python supports inheritance. Now, what is classes? What is object? So let's understand with the day-to-day example. We all use Excels, right? Microsoft Excel, I meant to say. So in the Excel, anyone can tell me, let's say you have given a task from your client that you need to prepare an Excel, which will include the device details. Let's say version, show running configuration, IP address, and so on, right? What will be the first step you guys will do? Anyone?
Log into the devices, we'll take the serial number inventories.
No. I'm talking about Excel point of view. Let's think about Excel point of view. You log into the Excel. What will be the first step that you guys will do?
Alignment.
Headers, like what information we are gathering.
Yes. First is headers, right? The first row. Right? What information we need? Let's say I need IP address, I need name, I need, let's say, version, whatever it is, right? This is headers. And according to this particular row or headers, we are writing the data. We'll write the data according to our whatever data that we have on the devices, right? So guys, this is meant by class. This is meant by class. Now, class is, the bookish definition of the class is, it's blueprints of real-time activities or real-time objects. You can say that, right? What is class? It's a blueprint of real-time objects. Now, whatever data that we're gonna write inside this table, it is known as objects. It is known as objects, right? What is the bookish definition of objects? It's a blueprint of the class, or you can say objects is the instance. Object is the instance of the class, right? Because we are writing the data with the help of these headers only. Hence, objects are the instance of the class. I hope you all understood the classes and object in a very day-to-day way. Let's move ahead. And that's the main concern, that Python has supported this object-oriented programming, as well as Python supports inheritance, that we will see in the future classes, what is inheritance and all, right? So that's about why Python is interpreted, interactive, and object-oriented language. Now, Python language is incredibly easy to use and learn for new beginners and newcomers that we all know, and hence we are learning it. Due to its ease of learning and uses, Python codes can be easily written and executed much faster than other programming language. We have proved that why Python is much faster than Java. We have proved that why Python is much faster than C or C++ language, right? Now, the most important point is last one, that Python is a portable. Now, guys, Python language is a portable language. You can use the same code in Linux. You can use the same code in Unix. You can use the same code in Windows, right? It's an open standard tool. You can say Python is a open standard tool, or Python is a portable language, right? So in the layman term, what we used to write, what we used to tell, like what we used to explain, Python is the portable language, right? That's it about theory. This slide we have seen, this slide shows the difference between Java and Python. Can anyone tell me how many versions are Python of there? What are the versions of Python? In the demo class I have explained, and even remember?
2.0, 3.0.
Cool. There are two versions of Python, right? Now, first is 2.0 and 3.0. There are sub versions, let's say 2.1 to so on, and then whatever 3.11 is going around nowadays. Now, here, what is the difference that I didn't tell you in the class, right? The difference between 2 and 2.0 and 3.0 is there is a difference in the syntax, right? So here, just have a look. The print hello world and the same command I'm writing over here is print hello world, right? Now, what is happening here? There is syntaxes gets changed. See, for the print in the 3.0, this is version 3.0 command, this is 2.0 command. Here I'm just writing curly braces, no, my bad, round brackets, right? In the 3.0. So there are same like this, there are few other syntax changes. And in a class as well, we will use 3.0 as it is the latest one rather than 2.0.
So in 3.0, its print is a function, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like not in only specific in 3.0, 2.0 it's a print is also the function in 2.0 as well. But writing or calling the function syntax is different in 2.0.
Okay, okay.
Now let's move ahead, and like it depends on you guys. If you wanna go side by side installation of Python and Pycharm, you can do that. But I would suggest, like I'll suggest you that let's have a look over here first, and then download it today itself, and then come up with me if if there are any issues in the next class. We're gonna fix your downloading and setup issues. Now these are few online compilers that you can use. You can use Google Colab, you can use online Python compiler, and you can use this the first compiler. It's all are the online compilers. No need to install anything into your PC, right? You can run your code without downloading Python into your PC, right? I'll share this slide with you soon. In that, automatically you can go to that links and you can use the Python code. Now tell me how many how many of you have Mac?
I have Mac.
Yeah, I have.
M1 or Intel?
It's me, Intel.
Intel, the old one or newest one? Just wanted to tell because I just wanted to ask because there are a lot of changes in there.
I have 2015, maybe old one.
Old one, Intel one. Okay, assuming the Intel one is good because like who are there in there will be no issues who has Intels, but those who have M1 they can reach out to me for the setup. Now here for today's setup, what I will show you is I'll show it on Windows, right? And same steps you need to follow on Mac Intel. Like the steps will be same, no change, it will be there. Now for downloading Python, the first step is for downloading Python. Let's move ahead. So you have to just write Python download. right? Go to this website, python.org. This website will open. And here, see, this is the latest version of Python, guys. 3.10.6. 3.10.6. And here, look, there are a few other versions as well. It is available. 3.9, 3.c, I think 2. Is also available, 2.7 and all. But I recommend you for network automation, always go with 3.10. 3.10.6, the latest one, right? So simply download it. Guys, after downloading, just follow me. Don't miss this steps. Otherwise, it will be error after the compilation or after during runtime. Just follow me. Here I'm just executing this path. So this screen will gonna come up after hitting on executive file. Here you just need to keep in mind one thing. Do not ever forget to tick on this particular checkbox. Add Python 3.10 to the path. Don't forget it, right? If you forget it, keep in mind that uninstall Python and reinstall it. Otherwise, there are more ways if you don't want to install. But I want you all to check this box and then hit install now.
Sir, I'm using Anaconda environment, so I think it's fine.
That
correct?
is fine. That is fine. Yes, that is fine.
And I'm using Jupyter Notebook, which is
For
inbuilt.
Jupyter Notebook, I'll tell you. Let me complete this. I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
So let's wait until meanwhile, let's the installation will complete.
Yeah,
Now, go ahead, Sharif.
I already installed this actually before. So how can I confirm that that 2 box already I ticked or not?
Wait, we'll confirm that as well. Let me complete this setup. I'll tell you how to confirm. Done. Now setup is done. Now how to check that Python is installed into our system successfully, or can we use the Python? Simply go to your command prompt. If you are using Windows, if Mac, go to your terminal. Now here, simply write py. After writing py, if you are getting this 3 greater than signs, if you're getting this 3 greater than signs in Python known as interpreter. This is what interpreter. Right? If you're getting this 3 greater than signs, means the Python has been successfully installed in your system. For few of you, it could be like it depends on the machine that it is taking py or it's taking complete Python. If the py is not working, guys, let's hit exit. If the py is not working, just write Python completely. If you're writing Python as well, you should get this 3 greater than sign. Try with both the options, right? So this indicates that Python has been successfully installed into your system, right? Clear with the steps? Shall I move ahead with the next setup? Anyone has any concerns? Okay. Ramesh? Okay. Let's move ahead. Now, what I will do is the second step that we all need to follow, which is what? Let me go to next slide. See, Python installation, it's there. You can go to this website and just enter py in the command line. It will open. It means that whatever the Python that you have installed, it is installed successfully, right? If you want to check, see, the version is 3.8.2. That is the old slide. So right now we just installed.
Sorry for interrupt. That if I have installed the old Python 2.7 or something, so I need to install again. It will be overwrite or it will be new Python.
No, just uninstall that old one and install new one.
Okay.
So why I'm telling this is because I want everyone to be on same page, because in 2.7 the syntax errors will be different. The syntax will be different for few of the commands. So at that time it will be a bigger task for you to compile or to invest time to solve that syntax errors. So I want everyone to be on same page. Now let's move towards Pycharm. Anyone can tell me, can anyone tell me what is Pycharm is?
It's a we can
It's open source code.
note and we can make the
Is an
project and
ID. It's an
Yes,
IDE.
IDE, right? It's an IDE. We can use anything, right? IDE means integrated development environment. Here, it's a mediator between your Python and the devices, right? So you can use any IDE. You can use Notepad. You can use Jupyter Notebook. You can use what VS Code and all, right? But I recommend you to use Pycharm for our network automation. So few of the guys are using Jupyter Notebook. I'll tell you what will be the issue. I know that you can write your codes into Jupyter Notebook, but how you will gonna connect your particular Jupyter Notebook to your device with your devices, right? Because Jupyter Notebook is on cloud. Now from cloud, how the Jupyter Notebook will gonna know that whatever devices that you have installed uh, in your local machine, you have to integrate that first. So that will be hectic task for you, right? So for that reason, I recommend you to use Pycharm. Okay, that's fine. Let's move ahead with the installation of the Pycharm now. Where is our screen? Here. Simple. Just hit Pycharm install. And guys, please, if don't try installing Pycharm first and then Python. I would recommend install Python first and then Pycharm. Download Pycharm. Always keep in mind, don't click on this professional download. It's we have to pay for it, but for automation, we're gonna use this community edition only. If you want to buy professional, you are free to go. So here I just clicked on community one and it's downloading now. Let's wait for a few seconds. It will be downloaded and then we will see. Guys, just a request. If you don't have any question, just check once that you are you're unmute or not. Right? If you're unmute, just mute yourself. So it will not disturb everyone. Okay. Let's wait for a sec. Guys, you are doing side by side or you're just watching?
No, I'm doing side by side.
Side by side, I'm doing.
Cool. That's fine. But don't miss the steps. Huh? Have a look over here as well. 3, 2, 1, go. See, now hit next. Don't play with this particular folders, destination folders. You can change it accordingly, but I recommend you don't play with this. Now this box, right? The same thing. Checked everything which is written over here. Right? Python community edition, it's a shortcut only that we want. Context menu, you have to add open folder as a project, then .py file, it should support that particular association, as well as this is the major part. We did same thing in the Python in the while installing Python as well, right? We are adding that part into the environmental variables. Now checked everything, hit next, hit install. That's it. Simple way to install Python. Now, meanwhile, it is installing. Anyone has any questions, they can shoot.
How can I check that one? Can you just tell me if possible?
How can you check the what?
While installing the Python,
Okay, I'll repeat that for you, no issues. So you can check that Python is installed in your system or not, simply hit py, that's it.
Yeah, it is installed. It is 10.6 only.
Yeah.
But you have pick 2 boxes, right? That is it compulsory or is mandatory one?
That boxes that we have just seen.
Yeah.
Not getting your question, Sharif. Could you please repeat that?
Yeah, while installing the Python, you have I think bin box, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that how can I confirm whether I ticked or not?
Cool. Good question. I'll tell you. So you ticked or not. Let's wait for a while. Let me install PyCharm and then I'll tell you. There are other ways as well, but if you any which way we are installing PyCharm as well, right? So there is that way. In that way as well, we can confirm that. If not, then I'll tell you.
Fine.
Okay. Or else let's go ahead with that. We have time. So for confirming, you can go to your my computer, like this PC, go towards properties.
If it is Mac,
If it is Mac, then you have to go to Z profile thing. Sharif, you can connect with me. I'll tell you the environment thing.
fine.
Environmental variable you have to
Or
check.
or otherwise I can uninstall and install, right? That also
Yeah,
possible.
that is like that is the prominent way to do it. But we'll see how we can fix
Okay.
that.
Dheeraj, can you tell me in Windows how to check that one?
Yes, I'll tell you that. Let's wait for PyCharm to install. We can confirm via PyCharm as well. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. I will reboot it later. Let's open PyCharm, guys. I guess shortcut will be created over here on the desktop. Okay. Don't import. I don't want to import anything. Just wait for a few seconds. Okay, cool. So guys, see, this is the first page, right? So I want you to create a project in a directory in a directory through which that you have to use that particular course in the future, right? So don't simply just create a project, select the folder, whatever folder, whichever folder, whichever path that you need to select it and then create the directory, right? So here I have chosen this particular directory. You can change this directory according to your whatever folder or whichever folder you wanted to store your codes. Now don't play with this part, guys. This is a virtual environment. So what is going to happen is whenever if we are creating any project, a virtual environment will be created, right? Now this particular virtual environment will get integrated towards your Python, whatever that you have downloaded, right? And hence I requesting you that do not ever play with this particular menus. Just select your directory, hit create. Is it
Hi
created?
bro, I have one issue. I opened the folder. I'm not getting any virtual project here. It's just asking the path only.
Hit create and then check over here in the
Okay.
project directory. Okay, it's
So I have
done.
a question here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So why we are using PyCharm? What is the function for Python? Because I'm new to this. So.
Okay, cool. So I will tell you why we are using PyCharm is whatever the suggestions that we are getting from the Python, no, it's very much clear in PyCharm, and hence we are using PyCharm for integration of the Python, and it's very user friendly with like see I have used in my organization, I used to use VS Code, but there I'm lagging with the suggestions. Let's say I want to I don't know the syntax of it, so what I will do, I'll simply hit tab, I'll get suggestions, what are the command that has been supported. Getting my point? Here PyCharm has their inbuilt modules to suggest you what should be the next command, right? Rather than downloading any inbuilt functionalities. See, you can have a look. Download pre-built share indexes. So Pycharm is automatically downloading whatever it is needed for your code. No need to do manual installation. That's the main concern we are using Pycharm.
Okay. If we will not download this Pycharm, then what will be the effect in Python?
You can if you don't want to go VS Code, as well as if you don't want to download any IDE, there is an inbuilt IDE known as IDLE. But there it will be just a plain text for you. I'll show you that. Give me a sec. I think we have seen this, guys. This interpreter, right? You can simply use Control N. Right. So the next page will gonna open. If you don't want to use Pycharm, guys, you can run your code like this as well. Let's say import netmiko, no suggestions, nothing will be there, right? No color codings, nothing. Simply blank page. You just need to write your code and that's it. And that's the main concern, to take or to you should get suggestions from it. We are using Pycharm for your network automation. Now see here, there is a virtual environment. Now the main concern that why we have checked that particular checkbox, right, is here in the top left. My bad. In the bottom right, right? You're getting this Python 3.0, right? If you didn't hit that checkbox, no guys, this will not be there. Automatically, Pycharm has what? Integrate your Python with Pycharm. Getting my point? So what Pycharm did is, when it was installing the pre-builds, Pycharm found the Python into a directory, and Pycharm has integrated Python automatically, right? This 3.10 version that I have. So anyone in our class who has just downloaded Python are not getting this particular interpreter in the Pycharm. So if you're not getting it, remember you missed to check on that checkbox during installing the Python, right? Still, it could be possible that it is not showing. So simply go to this interpreter settings. Getting this interpreter settings, go to this interpreter settings. Where is the settings? Yeah, it's open now. So in this interpreter settings, you can choose the interpreter that you have. So few of the guys have two versions. Let's say like 2.0 as well and 3.0 as well. So there it will be two versions will be shown over here, right? So right now I just have 3.10. So here I'll choose 3.10 and I'll hit OK, right? If you want to check that is correct or not, or let's say your Python code is running or not, I'll tell you that how to confirm. So main.py file will be like default file will get created when you create your project. Simply run print hello world. Don't worry about syntax, why we are writing inside quote, why we are writing parentheses and all, right? Now let's run. Now for running the file, there are two options. For the first time, keep in mind guys, for the first time, always run your code by hitting right click and run this main at the first time, right? Now at the second time or third time or many more, let's say I want to change this hello world to W, right? At the second time, you can simply run via this button, green button, here as well or here as well. You can simply hit on this button, your code will run. See, now I'm getting output as hello W, right? Understood how to use Pycharm? Anyone has any issues? The speed is good, or I'm going too fast, I'm going too slow?
The little bit slow will be better. I hope.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Anyone has any concern regarding speed? Okay. So let's move ahead. So setup related, anyone has any issues?
Bro, can you explain once again, bro? Because I stuck up in main.py here.
That's what I told you. Have a look first. So I'll tell you. So here we just need to confirm that how to run the scripts into the Pycharm. So how to confirm, just write print, and inside curly braces just write any message, whatever you want. Let's say hello Anji, right? Now let's print. At the first time, if you want to print this, what you can do is hit right click and go to run main. At the first time, guys, right? I'm getting output like this. But at the second, third, after changes, rather than this, you can simply hit on this run button. There is already button is there. You can simply hit this run or this run. It will be the same output for you. Right?
Okay.
Anyone has any issues now? Shall we move ahead? Okay. Let's go ahead, and Pycharm installation is done. There are a few introductory part. I'll tell you quickly. Will not waste much time into theory now. So, guys, please be on mute. So, interpreted language. So Python is interpreted language, right? Always keep in mind. Any programming language that isn't already in the machine code prior to runtime. So it is explaining whatever that we have discussed earlier, right? It will not compiled. It will directly run or at during runtime and all, right? It's unlike compiled language. So C, C++ are the compiled language. Python is an interpreted language. Why? We have proved that as well. Now the second point is very much important. Now .py is a extension, right? .py is a extension of Python file that you guys need to keep in mind. Python file extension is .py. Whenever you're gonna see, let's say in the Pycharm as well, you can see main.py, right? So it's an extension of the Python file code first compiled to the bytecode as .pyc. Now what is meant by that? So as Python is a smart language, guys, what Python used to do is, let's say you have two files. What I'm doing is, let's say sia.py and sia1.py. Let's say I have two files. Right? As Python is a smart language, what I wanted to do is, I have ABC. Let's say ABC over here, right? Here in this file as well, I need to use this ABC. So I have two options. Either I can write the same ABC over here, or what I can do is I can import, or I can take this input from this SI file, right? So being a better programmer, I will not write this ABC manually, the same thing into this file. What I can do is I can simply import this particular ABC from si.py file, right? Let's say what is import and all that we have a session, but importing means just taking something from this file. So what I'll write, import SIA, that's it. If I'm writing import SIA means whatever functionality or whatever things that is there, I can use the same thing into si1.py file, right? As Python is a smart language, what Python will do? When the interpreter, see guys, interpreter means you can say Python cursor, because it's go line by line, right? So don't be confused if I hit the word, if I use the word interpreter, right? So if the interpreter will goes to this line, import SIA, this will be the first line. What Python used to do is, Python used to create in the background. We did not need to create it separately. In the background, Python used to create a .pyc file. You can say bytecode file, right? For usable. So at the second time, if Python wanna use, it will not be, the Python will not be run this particular si.py file each and every time. At the first time, Python will gonna save .pyc file in the background, right? Now, let's say at the first time I'm printing print ABC. I hit run. I got the output as ABC. Now I don't want this ABC. I want that CBA should be printed rather than ABC. Again, I change this particular output to CBA. And if I hit run, at that time, this PYC file, I'm not overwriting this PYC file. At that time, this PYC file, the Python will not invest his time to create this PYC file again, right? and the Python interpreter will not go to this file and then import line by line and then come back. See, it's a like whatever operation that Python is doing, it's just for microseconds, but still it should affect the timing of running the program. And that's the main concern, that Python will not create this PYC file each and every time while running SIA1.py. Understood? Understood? Or like seems like going
Yeah,
over your head?
yeah, yeah, bro, clear, bro.
Cool. See guys, if you are sitting idle, this class is not for you, to be frank, because if you have issues, concerns, shoot it. After a few days, it will be like difficult for you to understand, because at that time I cannot explain that what is PYC file, what is PY, why it is interpreted and not, because that in that case there will be different questions.
So can you just repeat that? Actually, that PYC means the first time I am running that command, that particular moment that code is saved as PYC. The second time, if I change something, that particular code, then
Okay,
if I,
let's use the same thing with the help of code. I hope that will be better for you guys. Let's create the file. How to create file? Just hit right click, new, it's Python file. I'll create main 1.py now. It's working slow because I'm running Mac inside Windows. That's fine. So what I'm doing is a equal to 2, b equal to 3. Don't worry what is a, y equal to, how you are written this, a equal to only, y not plus and all. That is none of our business now. Let's move ahead. Now in the main.py file, what I'll do is I'll just simply import this main. I'll just import this main, right? Now my question is, if I'll print a, let me check it's small or capital, small a. If I print a, see guys, here I don't have anything. A is equal to something, right? I don't have anything over here. If I run this code, I'm getting that a is not defined. I'm getting a is not defined. Now let's do one thing. Give me a sec. So while running this import, if I am, let's say here, let me write ABC. Let's run this code. Run it. Okay, cool. I'm getting result as ABC. Now at the first time when my interpreter hit this line, in the background, Python has already stored file as main.pyc. Main.pyc. At the first time when I'm running this ABC. Now, what has happened? Let's change this to CDB, right? Or anything. If I run this code now, guys, it's working slow, but that's fine. When I run this code, this Python will not create that PYC file again. It's just one-time activity that Python will do to save your time for running this code. Got it?
why it cannot do the first time as a .py file? Why we have to create PYC file?
It will create automatically. You do not need to do the .pyc. It's just a theoretical concept that will gonna happen in the background. Why? Because in that PYC file, it will be stored, like whatever Python will gonna store the bytecode, or let's say Roman data of this main.py. So whenever if you are hitting this run command again and again to run this main.py file, the time will should not be waste to go to main.py and compile each and everything line by line. Getting my point?
Yeah. So while this only import something we already existing file, right?
Yes. So import main means what? We are importing this main file.
Got it.
You are importing the module, correct? It's like
No, not module. You can say module, but
Yeah,
right,
it's kind of
module.
module only. So
Yes.
file is a module.
Cool. That's fine. That is what is written over here. You can say xyz.py. It will create xyz.pyc and all. So you can have a look. I think we have covered this part: interpreted, interactive, and object-oriented theoretical part. Applications, easy to learn, interactive, portable, extendable, database. It has GUI and all. Whatever it is, you can read this theory. If you are going for the interview, let's have a look of this theory. Now let's move ahead. Guys, you need a break for 5-10 minutes or it's good? Shall I move ahead with the coding now?
Yeah, we take 5 minutes break, bro.
Okay. Quickly take 5 minutes break. Let's come back over here 10:06, right? Let's come back to 10:11.
Okay, one question, Dheeraj. One question.
Go ahead, go ahead.
That first file, the main.py, there you have mentioned A is equal to 5, B is equal to C, and main.py, there you mentioned as a string. So what exactly you are importing from that main.py? So there is nothing is importing, right?
Here?
Yeah.
Nothing what? Nothing is importing.
Yeah, importing means whatever here the output we can see CDS.
Variables is there, na? Variable is there.
Yeah.
So it's, don't worry. That's what I told you. No, like don't go deeper. What is A equal to what, B equal to what? Because right now we all don't know what is A, why we have written A equal to and why we are written B equal to. We are not studied variables and all. My motive was like just to explain in the background, it will gonna save .pyc file. So in the interview, if someone gonna ask you, what have you ever heard about bytecode file? So you should tell him or her that, okay, I have learned this things and the Python is more usable and this could be the advantage of the Python.
Got it. Got it. Thank you.
Let's come up at 3:11, 3:50. No, not 3:15, 3:11. My bad, not 3:11, 10:11. Let me pause my